A brief history of Israel, from ancient times to modern-day description. This in-depth exploration of Israel's history takes you through the ancient origins of the Jewish people, the rise and fall of the biblical kingdoms, and the various empires that ruled the region. We delve into Israel's modern formation, the conflicts surrounding its independence, and its evolving role in the global political landscape, covering major historical moments from 3000 BC to the present in this comprehensive 5,000-word account. Ancient Israel, circa 3000 BC to 70 CE. The earliest records of what is now Israel trace back to the Bronze Age. Around 3000 BC, the region, known as Canaan, was inhabited by various Semitic tribes. According to biblical tradition, the patriarch Abraham settled in the area, forming the foundation of the Jewish faith. His descendants, led by Moses, later fled Egypt in the Exodus, which is central to Jewish religious identity. Around 1000 BC, the Israelites, under King Saul, established the first kingdom of Israel. His successor, King David, famously united the tribes and made Jerusalem the capital, followed by Solomon, who built the first temple. However, internal divisions led to the kingdom splitting into Israel, north, and Judah, south, in 930 BCE. Both fell to invaders, Israel to the Assyrians in 722 BCE and Judah to the Babylonians in 586 BCE, marking the beginning of the Jewish diaspora. The Persian conquest allowed Jews to return and rebuild the Second Temple, but the region would later fall to the Greeks under Alexander the Great. The Hasmonean kingdom emerged briefly after the Maccabean revolt, but Roman occupation followed in 63 BCE. In 70 CE, the Romans destroyed the Second Temple during a Jewish revolt, leading to a large-scale Jewish dispersion. Jewish diaspora and Islamic rule, 70 CE to 1917 CE. Following Roman suppression of the Jewish revolts, Jews were scattered across Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. While the land remained under Roman, and later Byzantine control, it was eventually conquered by Islamic forces in the 7th century CE, during the Arab expansion under the Rashidun Caliphate. The region became part of the Islamic world, referred to as Palestine. Despite the Islamic rule, Jewish communities persisted, albeit as a minority. Jerusalem remained a significant religious center for both Jews and Christians, as well as Muslims after the construction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque and Dome of the Rock. During the Crusades, European Christians briefly took control of the Holy Land in the 11th and 12th centuries, but it was retaken by Muslim forces under Saladin. For centuries, the area was relatively peaceful under various Islamic dynasties, including the Ottoman Empire from 1517 onward. Zionism and the formation of modern Israel, late 19th century, 1948. By the late 19th century, European Jews faced increasing persecution, particularly in Eastern Europe and Russia. Theodor Herzl, an Austrian journalist, founded the modern Zionist movement, advocating for a return to the Jewish homeland in Palestine. This movement gained momentum, and Jews began to migrate to the region in waves, known as aliyahs. This coincided with the decline of the Ottoman Empire and growing nationalist sentiments among various ethnic and religious groups in the Middle East. After World War I, the British took control of Palestine under a League of Nations mandate. The 1917 Balfour Declaration expressed British support for a Jewish national home, which led to increased Jewish immigration. However, tensions between Jews and Arabs in the region grew, leading to violence and unrest. Following World War II and the horrors of the Holocaust, international support for a Jewish state increased. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan, dividing Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem as an international city. While Jewish leaders accepted the plan, Arab leaders rejected it. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the independence of the State of Israel. The following day, neighboring Arab states invaded, marking the start of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Israel successfully defended its independence, though the war resulted in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. Conflict and peace efforts, 1948, present the establishment of Israel did not bring peace to the region. In 1956, 1967, and 1973, Israel fought wars with its Arab neighbors, including the pivotal Six-Day War in 1967, where Israel captured the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Sinai Peninsula, and Golan Heights. These territories became central to the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Over the following decades, various efforts to achieve peace have been made. The 1979 Camp David Accords led to a peace treaty between Israel and Egypt, with Israel returning the Sinai Peninsula. However, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict persisted, with the intifadas, uprisings, in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Attempts at peace, including the Oslo Accords and the Camp David Summit in 2000, made some progress but ultimately failed to resolve core issues, such as the status of Jerusalem, Palestinian refugees, and Israeli settlements. Israel's political landscape has evolved, with significant internal debates over peace, security, and the future of the occupied territories. Meanwhile, Israel has become a global technology hub and established diplomatic relations with several Arab countries through the 2020 Abraham Accords. Israel's history is a complex tapestry of ancient origins, religious significance, conflict, and survival. From its biblical roots to its formation as a modern state, Israel remains at the heart of global politics and religion, symbolizing both hope and challenge for peace in the Middle East.